Hello, wrestling fans! I just got done watching NXT No Mercy 2024. A very good show that took place out in Denver, Colorado. The show kicks off with representing Chase University, Andre Chase and Ridge Holland, accompanied in the ring by Thea Hale, Duke Hudson, and Riley Osborne, I think that was. It was Andre Chase and Ridge Holland defending against former champions Nathan Frazier and Axiom. Earlier in the bout, Frazier hits a Red Star press on Andre. Ridge with a... Oh my god, not again on my eyes. Can't forget. Yeah, I forgot what he did. Something I can't read my damn handwriting right now. Andre hits a Spanish fly on Axiom, and also hit a Pearl River plunge on Axiom, but he kicked out of that. Eventually, Andre took a frog splash from Axiom and a 450 splash from Frazier, kicked out of that. Andre and Ridge hit the Doomsday device, paying homage to the late Legion of Doom, Hawk and Animal, on Frazier. Andre hits a superplex and a brainbuster on Frazier. Ridge hits a lariato on Axiom. Chase and Holland hit a double team powerbomb, backstabber, lung blower, backcracker move on Axiom. Axiom hits a Spanish fly on Andre, followed by a Phoenix splash by Nathan Frazier up the top rope, enabling Nathan and Axiom to defeat Chase and Holland at 13 minutes 32 seconds to win back the Tag Team Championship. After the match, Holland attacks Hudson and Osborne. They go out to the floor. He attacks Chase, and at one point, I think Thea Hale was trying to get Holland to stop, and then Holland throws Chase onto the table and gives him that Gangrel DDT. The table does not break, and he's laying on the floor, and the referee's calling for help, and paramedics come out with a stretcher, and the camera didn't show it, but apparently they stretchered Andre out of the building and into an ambulance. Next up was a battle of former tag team partners as Wesley took on Zachary Wentz of the Rascals, who recently won the TNA X Division Championship. Wentz hit a field goal kick on Lee while he was down, and while Lee was standing on the floor. Hits a top rope swanton back in the ring. Lee with hit a handstand Rana and a foul by Phoenix Splash. Hits the cardiac kick. Wentz kept kicking out. Wentz hit a destroyer DDT. Lee hits Meteora. Wentz landed on the commentator's table, which broke, but I don't think that was planned to break, because Lee eventually jumped off the top rope and hit a stomp on Wentz on the floor, right where the broken commentator table it was. Lee was going to use a chair, but the other rascal, Trey Miguel, shows up, takes the chair, and stops Lee from using it. Wentz jumped off the apron, hit a destroyer on the floor, and then went back of the ring, and Wentz hit what they called the UFO cutter. Zachary Wentz defeats Wesley at 13 minutes 37 seconds to pick up the victory. Next up was Wendy Chu challenging Kalani Jordan for the Women's North American Championship. This one started out a bit slow, it seemed. Kalani with a Rana earlier on. The ladies had a double clothesline on each other. Wendy with a German suplex. Kalani had a handspring elbow that the Great Muta is known for. Hits a tornado DDT followed by a split-legged DDT. Then she hits a frog splash from the top rope. Wendy hits a suplex on the floor. Wendy hits a powerbomb and a full Nelson slam. Puts this submission move, which they call the clutch. I don't know that they call it the Cobra Clutch anymore. And what happened, it appeared that the referee had checked Kalani's arm, and it dropped, but it looked like it was going to drop, and then Kalani held the arm up. The referee was ready to call for the bell, but the referee said, no, no, no. Jordan prevailed by hitting the 450 splash from the top rope, followed by the split-legged moonsault, or as I call it, the Van Dam salt. Kalani Jordan defeats Wendy Chu at 13 minutes, 19 seconds to retain the Women's North American Championship. After the match, Chu is still in the ring. Tatum Paxley enters the ring, puts a Dragon Sleeper on Chu, and left her laying. Up next was Tony D'Angelo, accompanied to the ring by the D'Angelo family, as Tony challenged Oba Femi for the Men's North American Championship. Earlier out, Tony hits a cactus clothesline where they both go out to the floor, hits a German suplex. Oba eventually took over, hits a classic move. It's a shoulder breaker. There's a move we don't see anymore. I know a lot of heels would use that move, but I don't think Oba's really a heel right now, is he? Tony hits a DDT and they're both on the apron. Hits a belly-to-belly suplex, followed by a fisherman suplex. Catches Oba off the rope with a power slam. Drops Oba with an electric chair drop. Oba attempts... Oba attacked the other two, the male members of the D'Angelo family. Tony, back in the ring, Tony hits a spear. Oba hits a cactus clothesline of his own. Powerbombs Tony. Tony eventually comes back with a spine buster. Oba hits another powerbomb followed by the sit-out powerbomb. Oba Femi defeats Tony D'Angelo at 13 minutes 46 seconds to retain the Men's North American Championship. Next up was we saw Jada Parker challenging Roxanne Perez for the Women's Championship. Early on, they were on the floor. Roxanne had a surfboard on, and Parker was like up against the metal stairs. Roxanne, let's just say back in the ring, gave Jada the Sullivan Stomp. For those who don't know, Kevin Sullivan, who died in August, he was known for just a stomp to the gut while the person's down on the mat. That was his finishing move for a time, believe it or not, folks. Jada hit a sit-out powerbomb, a spine buster. She hits a reverse suplex. Roxanne eventually puts the crossface on, had the Rings of Saturn on, but Jada didn't submit. Jada eventually pays homage to the Anoa'i family with the Samoan drop. Misses a Vader bomb. And Jada tried to run at Roxanne out on the floor, but she crashed through the barricade as they call it. Roxanne had a Pop Rocks on the floor. Back in the ring, Roxanne had a second Pop Rocks, which for those who know is the Powerbomb Amazing Red is known for, the Code Red. Roxanne, after that second Pop Rocks, Roxanne Perez defeats Jada Parker to retain the Women's Championship at 14 minutes, 51 seconds. After the match, out comes Julia. I'm not sure if she is from Japan, big star in Japanese wrestling or not. She comes out, she's face to face with Roxanne, and Roxanne was like clutching her championship belt very tightly, and eventually they're face to face with each other. Roxanne holds the belt up. So I guess they're hinting at Roxanne's next challenge, because I don't know how many more women is Roxanne going to turn away and turn back the challenges of? I mean, she's beaten Jordan Grace, Natalia. Now she's beating Jada Parker. Damn, it's like, who's left for her? Roxanne. And then it was main event time as Trick Williams was a special guest referee as TNA superstar Joe Hendry challenged All Ego Ethan Page for the NXT Championship. Hendry had a stalling suplex, and as he had Page up, he's like walking around the ring with him before he eventually dropped him. Not even the late Davey Boy Smith was known for that. Davey Boy would just do a stalling suplex, but he wouldn't walk around the ring with him. He'd just stay in one position. Page eventually puts a front chancery on, which Hendry counters with a suplex. Page hit a second rope power slam off the second rope. Hendry with a super last call. That's the move the late Scott Hall was known for those who don't know. Page hits what it was called the Ego's Edge, the Ego Edge, and drops Hendry on the apron. Sick bump. Hendry hits I guess a Razor's Edge, we'll call it. Then does a last call in the ring. And hits what they call the standing ovation, which is a choke slam. He went for the pin. Trick starts counting, but he knows Ethan's foot is underneath the rope, and Hendry and Trick are like face-to-face arguing. Ethan pushes Hendry, which knocks Trick out of the ring. Then, Page hit a choke slam, and then another referee comes out. Hendry kicks out of that. Page brings the championship belt into play. Page gives Hendry a DDT on the championship belt. The second referee is about to make a 3 count, but Trick runs back in. He grabs stops the referee from counting 3, and then Trick and Ethan are arguing. Ethan attempts to attack Trick, but he hits the second referee, and then let's see what happened there. Okay, then Trick is checking on the second referee. Hendry tries for another standing ovation chokeslam, but Page kicks Hendry in the groin and then hits an Ego Edge, and reluctantly Trick makes the 3 count. All Ego Ethan Page defeats Joe Hendry at 15 minutes 7 seconds to retain the NXT Championship. And after they showed the replay of some of the action, Trick was attacked on the floor by Pete Dunne. And the show went to black with Ethan holding the belt up. Championship belt's up high for all to see. Well, this was a very good show on NXT's part. Their next big one will be Sunday, October 27th. They present Halloween Havoc. On Tuesday, October 1st, NXT's Tuesday night show debuts on the CW network. So maybe they'll make that a bigger than usual show. What else can I say? I forgot who the women's tag team champions are right now, but they I don't know when was the last time those belts got defended. But I mean, NXT never just seems to disappoint. I mean, it may not be as great as it once was or whatever, but hey, still beats watching Friday night Snooze Down or Monday night Snore. So, I enjoyed this show.